Dude, do you know what I just got in the email?
No.
Message?
I got an email from Diana Learn
Yeah.
with some super rad stuff coming up for, I think it's going to be April.
April 2022.
2022. You better hide your wallets because
4/22.
yes.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah, but it's not going to be the 22nd.
No.
Anyway, it's the coolest stuff. It's that. Well, so anyway, so there's a bunch of new classes that are coming up in 2022. There's also a bunch of spots in, for classes that we just normally do because it's cool. And it's going to be fun too. Did you know one of the very, very coolest things that we're doing is we're having a month of pickup winding classes and guitar building classes with Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone?
No, I didn't know that, Matt. Tell me more.
Really? You didn't know that?
Yes, I knew about it.
You were here when Dylan and I talked about it.
I led you right into well, let me tell you more about it, Chris. Here's the neat thing. How cool would it be to wind your own pickups? Now, how cool would it be to put those pickups in a guitar you built at Texas Toast Guitars? Yeah. How cool would that be? With
Mr. Nashville, Dylan McCurchie.
Is that his new nickname?
That is
Mr. Nashville.
With
new handle. That's what he drives down the road on his CB.
Mr.
Breaker 19. This is Mr. Nashville, Dylan McCurchie coming at you. 10-4, good buddy. Like
I think in the spirit of sending each other ridiculous shirts, I think we should have one that says Mr. Nashville on it, and it has like a picture of like a hot dog or just something, like some nachos or something. I don't know.
Mr. Nashville. Just
this thing that doesn't make any sense at all.
Hi there, I'm Dylan McCurchie, but you might know me by my other name.
Hi there,
Mr. Nashville.
You might remember me from such films as Mr. Nashville and Nachos.
And Mr. Nashville goes to Memphis.
Oh,
isn't that long of a drive.
Hey, everybody. This is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Chris and I took a few hours today to make our video for the Great Guitar Build-Off judging that we had to do. And in doing so, we also picked our 5 from the kit build and 5 from the scratch build, which was our job. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy to do.
It wasn't easy at all. I thought it would be way easier to do, but it really wasn't. Like
sitting down to pee easier? Yeah, it was way harder than sitting down to pee.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're not going to spill the beans about what we did because we made a whole video, and you're just going to have to watch the whole damn video if you want to see it. But the fact of the matter is that we started drinking a little earlier than we normally do today. A lot earlier. And so Chris started drinking at the exact same time. Yeah. So, hey, what's going on there, Chris? What have you been? I already know, but what have you been up to?
You want the truth?
No, I want the.
You can't handle the truth. I did some painting today, Matt.
Yes,
not
I know.
Guitars.
Yes, I know.
I did exterior door painting.
It's super fun.
Yeah, we had to put new doors in the wood shop because the doors that were in there were
crap tested.
Yeah,
tissue paper.
Pretty much junk.
Yeah.
And so last weekend we put up the new doors, and yesterday we did some trim work. And today we did. I did some priming, and then tomorrow I'll finish them up.
It's going to be nice. It's going to
be nice.
It's going to look superior in every way to what was there. Yeah. And it's going to be nice. So and we have nice secure doors now.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, and it's funny peculiar, not funny ha.
I was just going to start bust out laughing when you said
is I can't do that kind of work anymore.
No.
And I'm sitting there doing it, and I'm like, I used to do this all day, every day
Honey baked ham
for the
store.
longest time. Yeah. And I can't do that kind of stuff anymore. Don't want to do that stuff anymore. And I'm thinking, you know, but for the grace of God, I would still be doing that.
Right.
You know, and then maybe I would still be able to do it, but not anymore.
And this is a unique Thursday because Mrs. Toast is here today.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's you never know what you're going to get. It's especially today. So, guys, Thursday is the day that we take your questions about guitar building or door painting or
what's the best primer to use?
or
on an exterior door
or peeing sitting down.
Yeah.
And
the paint shortage.
The paint shortage.
That's what they said at Home Depot.
Anyway, is that real?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you have any trouble getting paint?
Yeah, because I wanted a quart, and they were like, "Well, we don't have any quarts. I'll sell you a gallon for the quart price." And I was like, "Whoa!"
So wait a minute.
Trying to screw me
in the middle of a paint shortage. They gave you 3 times the paint you asked for. That doesn't seem like a very good
half the
business
price.
move. Yeah.
Well, so it's $20 a gallon.
Okay.
Or $9 a quart.
Oh, I
so
see.
It wasn't like
Okay.
it was that big of a deal.
So anyway, this is the show where we answer your questions about guitar building, preferably. And all we ask is that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and put lots of question marks before your questions in case you have one, so that we don't miss them. So there's so many good things happening next week too, dude.
Yeah,
we've got 5 guys coming in to do kind of build whatever you think you can build and get done in 5 days.
Yep.
On the website, I think I'm calling it design and build your own guitar or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not just limited to that. It's like Rod is coming and he's going to do some painting.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to come
and
and
class to learn how to paint and do some other stuff.
Yeah. And Paul wants to make necks using tools that are easy to come by, not a pin router. So he thought he was going to try and throw us for a loop there, but no. Thanks to Steve from Maximum Guitars, we've got Paul all the way covered.
Yep.
I don't know what Paul's going to do for the other 4.5 days. No, we're going to have
a bunch more next.
Yeah.
Stephen Foligno is here, and he's excited to come and see us next week.
Is he bringing his 10 to 16 radius block deal?
He better bring his radius block deal. And
we talked to Steve. Yeah, we had lunch with Steve today, so don't think we know what's up.
Yeah, don't feel bad about bringing that tool.
Oh, I was trying to give him grief. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally feel bad about bringing that tool, Stephen.
No. I'm trying to make it be like, like, hey, look, Steve, we talked to Steve. We know what's up.
Yeah.
So
we heard you say this is a far superior tool to anything that Matt and Chris might.
But you could bring that. You could bring that 1-inch sander and try it out and test it out against our radius sander, our swinging radius sander, and see which one you like best.
We'll race.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Well, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it too, Steven.
And maybe Paul will want to try out that tool. Let's get Paul to make at least 2 necks. And then we'll race on radius.
Okay, yeah.
It'll
be fun
using that tool and the other tool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all come up with. So it's gonna be fun. You got to brace for it. Brace for the G's though, because I think we're gonna go from like 0 to 60 like by 9:05 on Monday morning. I think people are gonna be ready. I want to
know. Yeah, I want to know how many people are gonna come by Sunday for Sunday live stream.
Rod is. Paul is. I bet you Steven is.
Yep. If you're here early, you should.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yep. All right. We ready for questions?
Ready. Let's jump right in.
Ryan wants to know when is Bono's double cut signature guitar going to be ready to show?
It's
not Bono.
But we do have a lot of other fashion accessories for Bono. We have a new Texas Toast hat that he's going to be debuting on a, like, I think it's Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something.
Frilly shirt.
Yeah, Frilly shirt.
Canceled.
Huh?
That show's been canceled.
Keeping Up with, but the last show is going to have Bono on it.
It's already done.
And he's going to wear a guitar just like the one that he's getting in from us. Yeah.
Yep.
Who's Bono?
Sonny Bono.
That guy's totally dead.
He is.
Why would? Oh, okay.
I just saw it. I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
You know, things happen. Jeff Parker asks, so I got a new
Hi,
PRS
Jeff.
SE with standard PRS trim
Okay.
and want to replace pickups. Lots of conflicting info if they are F-spaced. How to tell reliability non-Floyd guitars need F-space?
Well, F. Okay. First of all, F doesn't stand for Floyd.
No,
Um,
but I think what he's saying is that a Floyd guitar, the width at the bridge is always the same. And that's the inference that he's making.
I actually think that the F-spaced guitars are made to be used with Fender-spaced bridges.
Here's where it gets sticky.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. You said here's where it gets sticky, and then you said
There
go
are
ahead.
several different spacings on Fender-style
Oh,
guitars.
mercy. Okay.
Traditionally, the vintage stuff was quite a bit wider than the Gibson stuff, and that's where this whole thing started.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Americanized, more recent Fender stuff, if it's not vintage, it's closer to Gibson space.
Yeah.
So-
If I would say the best way to check and see if you need an F space pickup is to get a set of calipers and measure the pickups that you have. And if the strings go over the pole pieces like you want, then you need to get
that's the
pickups
ideal
that match
situation, right?
that match that. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now, in the grand scheme of things, does it matter? The answer is no. It
Probably
doesn't
not,
matter.
unless they're wildly different.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
almost never happens, and almost nothing lines up perfect,
Yeah.
string to string.
Yeah. The only way to be 100% sure is to get a blade style pickup, no pole. So like EMG,
Yeah,
something like that, where it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's not a big shake to get F space pickup from any of the big guys or even some of the little guys. So yeah.
Cool. Here's a good question.
Okay.
William J. Nearson asks, what are your thoughts on baked maple fretboards?
Hi, William. I think they're cool. I think that torrefied maple is super cool. I love working with it when it's cutting right. It can be fragile and it can be frangible. You know what I mean when I say frangible? It like once it starts breaking up, it's really hard to keep it from stopping breaking, or chipping, or like little things popping off of it. But man, it's beautiful. And it smells like pancakes when you work it, and I love it. I think it's really neat. Now, we don't use very much of it because we very rarely use maple for fretboards because you have to paint it.
Correct.
And I don't like I don't like to do a lot of painted fretboards. That's just me. And when I say paint it, you got to put something hard finish.
And I did a guitar a bunch of years ago, and I used a piece of roasted maple that we had laying around for the fingerboard. And then I just did a really quick and easy finish on the back of the neck and didn't do anything on the fingerboard except oil it.
Did it get dirty?
And it got dirty really fast. And it got kind of dry looking really fast.
Okay.
I don't think maple takes oil all that red hot. It doesn't really soak in.
Especially if you've got like some figured torrefied maple. Man, that stuff is awesome when you get a hard finish on it. So you got to put a hard finish on it.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, is it just sort of looked like grayish brownish wood. It didn't really pop. It looked great when I first put the oil on it,
but a few hours later,
it dried out. Yeah, it looked okay. But
some of it, it's like, well, what is that? Some kind of weird light rosewood?
Yeah.
No, it's maple. Yeah,
it's really neat rosewood if it had a hard finish on it. And then hard finish on fingerboards is its own. It's its own
set of issues.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, do I like it? Yes. Do we use very much of it? Not really, but I still like it a lot. I really like it on other people's guitars.
Yeah. SS.
Hey, SS.
Chimed in with just getting a jump start on Matt telling the drunk guy to send him money. Please disregard.
Yeah, all you drunk guys out there, send me money. Wait, is that what he wants to know?
I think that's what he wanted you to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate currency, even if, it's in metric form.
Yep.
Do you know, like, we are trendsetters, Chris? How many people say metric money now?
I think several people say metric.
You know who one guy who totally says it?
Nashville,
Mr.
Dylan
Nashville.
McCurchy.
Yeah, Dylan Nashville.
Did I get it
Dylan. That's even better
Mr. Nashville.
because I was Mr. Nashville, but yeah, I think Nashville Dylan McCurchy sounds great.
That's
Yeah.
his country western.
Nashville Dylan.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's rad. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I wonder what he's doing right now. Is he here?
He is not. He's probably, I don't know, hanging out with the guys from Gibson or something like that.
He's a total Gibson weenie now.
Yeah.
Which I'm a total Gibson weenie too. But yeah, I think he discovered how cool Gibsons can be
Yep.
this week.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Tony Lopes wants
Hey,
to know, what
Tony.
is your favorite wood to work with?
Ooh. Man, I think because so like some woods they machine well, but they throw crap everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And some woods take finish very well. What is my favorite wood to work with? And some woods are like given a choice between I was gonna say alder and ash. I would say ash every single time.
Yeah.
Because something about alder right now, it's like it checks on the end grain, and I'm not a mega fan.
That's not cool. That last batch that we got though was pretty darn nice. Part of the problem is trying to find fairly clear, fairly clean,
decent ash. Yeah.
Alder.
And then some woods like maple are harder to machine than say mahogany.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think that if I could get it all the time and there was no shortage of it and I could get it every single time, I would say white limba is my favorite wood to work with.
Okay.
For guitars. Because you can shoot it with like a kind of a honey color and it gets that cool honey color, white limba color, or you can shoot it with see-through red and it looks exactly like mahogany, I think. So yeah, I think that white limba is one of the problem is that getting it is not as easy to get as some other woods.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get it and it's super heavy. And my secret stash of white limba is gone, daddy, gone. There's a few hunks of it and I don't even think there's enough to build a whole guitar with.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it depends on what part of the guitar and what ultimately what the finish is going to be.
Okay.
It hurts my soul sometimes to take a really neat piece of wood and paint it blue or paint it green.
I know.
Or paint it, a solid color so that you can't tell that it's actually made of wood. It looks like a car fender.
Yeah.
But I also like things that are painted like a car fender. So, so poplar for car fender things. And it's my favorite because it machines really well.
It's not expensive.
It's not expensive.
Yeah.
It does everything you need that wood to do. But there's other applications, other guitars that
poplar
I
does
like.
kick ass. There's
Yeah.
but what is it that you say every so often? It's a one-trick pony, but man, it's a good trick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But maple's cool. Mahogany is the one wood that does everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can build body out of it. Well, and limba, but traditional woods.
Yeah.
Mahogany, body, neck.
I think
they're really cool.
There's mahogany and then there's mahogany too. So
we're having a hard time getting mahogany.
yeah, when the stuff that we like, when we get but you're right though. When we get like really super killer mahogany, it's like that's awesome.
And it seems like it's either really light, but gets fuzzy.
Yeah, there's some
really
of that
heavy,
ribbon kind of.
But machines well and all that. Yeah. So
Maple's cool because it smells like pancakes.
Well, roasted maple
especially roasted
does,
maple, yeah.
That's
so we have another
awesome.
question.
Okay.
I'll sort of divide these up.
Okay.
Ken Tipton says, I thought the reason for roasted maple is so that you don't have to finish it.
Okay, how about this? I don't know if you do or don't have to finish any wood.
Yeah.
Why would you have to finish it?
Yeah.
Will a roasted maple neck that is unfinished last longer than a regular maple neck that is unfinished? Maybe.
Yeah.
I just think that it looks cool when it's got a hard finish on it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think the reason for roasted maple is to stabilize the piece of wood.
Yeah.
That when you roast it, it changes it molecularly. That's what they say, and that it dries it out.
Okay. Yeah. So the reasons for torrefied lumber, as I understand it, it's definitely dry. It's not going to get any drier than that. There are those who say that it changes the structure of the grain cells.
The sugars.
Okay.
The
yeah.
wood sugars.
All right.
It won't.
You got me. Yeah.
It won't absorb any moisture.
Yeah.
But to my what I like about it the most is that cool caramel color.
Yeah. And I think that's really the main reason that people like it.
Yeah. And if you're going to have that cool caramel color and you don't put a hard finish on it, I think that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it doesn't take much. Like you don't have to add color to the stuff. And you know who does? You know what you could do though? You could take regular maple and you could call Todd from SweetT Guitars. He's got some new candies that he's working on.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are looking for candy paint with flake, I think Todd's got something that is going to be super, super crazy cool. Todd at SweetT Guitars, link in the description below. If you want something neat for paint, check him out. He will hook you up. He will hook you up fat.
There you go.
I guarantee it.
Bobby Dill.
Hey, Bobby.
Who came by.
He's probably like, well, I'm glad you like White Limba so much because he left us a big batch of White Limba to make a super awesome beat with.
He asked, is there a guitar that you always wanted to build, but no one has asked you to build yet?
I've had a handful of guitars that I've always wanted to make, and some of them I've gotten to do. The Modern was the first one that I always wanted to make one of, and somebody asked me to do it, and I was like, yes, I've always wanted to do that. One was the Prince Cloud guitar, and I got to do that. There's probably a handful of instruments that I remember really loving as a kid. The Hamer Steve Stevens model, the one, not the one where the horns are basically the same size. I would love to do one of those in that like nipple pink that came in. I'm sure there are some. How about you, Chris? What do you have one that we haven't made yet, but you like really would love to do?
Like to? No, not really. We've gotten to build just about anything and everything.
Because we've had people that have gone like, hey, it's funny. I'm just looking at the wall here. And Bobby, you remember all the stuff that was up here. There's a lot of neat stuff. I tell you though, one of the coolest things is for someone to go, I really like your design. I want one of your designs. And that's happening more as we go. People go, I really love the Challenger. I want that guitar. And that's one of the cooler things to me. Now, having said that, there's some neat, like I said, the Modern, the Prince Cloud guitar, things like that I always really like. And I'm looking forward to doing Bobby's White Limba Flying V. And I haven't forgotten about you, Bobby. I'm going to get you some paperwork on that real soon. So it sounds like he made it back to Kansas from Colorado.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a fun drive.
It's a drive that'll try a man's soul.
George Davis wants to know, I don't see the purpose of carbon fiber rods. If you are able to adjust the neck with the truss rod and you still have movement in the neck, so what are they doing? Okay,
George, thank you. That's a good question. Carbon fiber rods, you're right. If the carbon fiber rods are there and allow the neck to move, well, what are they there for? I think that one of the advantages of any stiffening rod that is not, hold on, I got to make sure I get my words exactly right here. If you can add rigidity to a neck, remember the truss rod only adjusts this. it doesn't do anything for this. So that is to say, it only adjusts in the opposite direction of the string tension. If you have a twist in your neck, I think that is what the carbon fiber rods are there to help eliminate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the the truss rod, the standard truss rod, or even the heavy duty truss rods that you and I use, Chris, they won't do anything for a twist. Now, carbon fiber rods aren't going to do anything for like a mega twist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a piece of wood is going to twist in a big way, you're going to have to load it up with way more carbon fiber than an eighth by a quarter. But if your neck is predisposed to moving a little bit in a direction that is not in the same direction or opposite of the strings, then carbon fiber can do a lot for that. Another cool thing that carbon fiber, by the way, we use steel rods a lot too. Mm-hmm. They add considerably more weight, but I think that they do a better job than carbon fiber does. So if SAWC, size and weight, is a thing, carbon fiber, if the most mass that you can get is a thing, then steel is the way to go. But I was going somewhere with this.
It was going to be brilliant.
Crap. I don't remember where I was going.
All right.
But yeah, I do remember. If you have, say, for example, if Gibson, if you are listening, if you have a 17 or 14 degree headstock or a headstock with way too much angle, and you shoot carbon fiber rods all the way through the headstock and then grind that level with the face and then put a face plate on, you now have a considerably stronger neck angle, headstock angle. So, the most notable of those guitars is the newer EVH guitars. All those, the Wolfgangs, the expensive ones anyway, have the carbon fiber rods that go through the headstock and stiffen the headstock. So that would be another reason to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Steven Soba.
Hey, Steven.
Has a question.
All right.
Steve Soba. I have the list of hotels for the tele class you emailed a few months ago. What about a small camper parking close in? What about other attendees' experiences in this venue?
We have, okay, so now what you need to remember, Stephen, is like I said in that mailer, this is an industrial area. Mm-hmm. And it's not exactly like, the Ritz here. I mean, this is, there's like a
homeless camp.
The businesses around here it's not an ideal place for urban camping, though it does happen. It's a bunch of industrial stuff. So if you drive a couple of miles to a hotel, you'll get a nice one. But staying a couple of blocks at a hotel, you're going to be in kind of a meth kind of a scenario.
Yeah,
ask Jeff about that, if you will. Ask Miguel.
Miguel. Yeah. So there are some people that camp around here. You probably don't want to be friends with them. There's a proliferation of mobile homeless around here, especially in these summer months. So you probably wouldn't want to park your camper here, but that's not to say that there isn't some places fairly close by that you can. I don't necessarily know where they are.
Dylan right now.
Is Dylan here?
I don't know.
He's not here. There's some good places. You can find a place if you look around.
Yeah, there are also a bunch of
parking out front.
There are also a bunch of Airbnb spots that some are good and one is less good.
Yeah, don't go to the one Miguel went.
Yeah. There's so if you I think Andrew St. Pierre and Michael and Loring have all had really good. No, not Loring. Who stayed at the Airbnb last time? Dave. Yeah, Dave. Thank you. Lots of people have had really good luck with the Airbnb. I'm not sure if you're asking for Airbnb, but yeah.
Yeah, I would plan on driving 10 or 15 minutes away from the shop for a place to stay rather than trying to stay right out front.
Yeah.
Not that you're gonna, you know.
You will probably get hassled by Westminster PD.
Yeah. Is Walmart parking still or Walmart camping still a thing? If it is, there's a Walmart that's not too far.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I saw a couple guys getting hustled out of a Walmart near me.
They kind of
today.
come and shoo them away. Yeah.
But maybe they looked a little suspect.
No, that's too bad.
Yep. Stephen Felino wants to know, I have an ash body, sanded it to 150, grain filled it, shot 1 round of Simtech. I haven't sanded it yet. Lots of grain showing. Sand it one more time, 1 more Simtech to make it all smooth.
Sand it one more time, Simtech it one more time, and then maybe sand it one more time.
2 more rounds of Simtech on it, spaced out 3 or 4 hours if you can pull that off.
They'll be here next week.
Yeah,
so yeah,
and then maybe
bring it along. I'm sure you're bringing it, right?
You'll see.
Yep.
And then maybe even 1 more round. Ash takes a lot, and you gotta put on a fair amount of stuff to get it to go away. The interesting thing is once you start sanding it, you'll be surprised how much of that goes away.
That's what I was wanting to.
Fluffs off.
And
so
and
but
you can
ash
sand
is,
it.
Yeah.
You know, since you know you're gonna have to add more, there's no problems with sanding through it. So sand it and sand it and sand it.
It's remarkable.
You know?
Yeah, you look at it and you go, well, there's hardly any on there, but there's a lot.
But really, there's lots in all the places. And what you have to do is sand that first level off and keep sanding it down. And you'll be surprised, even with 1 coat, 1 round, just how flat you can get it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, ash is really great.
It is.
Ken Tipton says, Warmoth won't warranty maple neck without hard finish.
I've heard that.
Warranty roasted maple neck with no finish.
Okay, well, so but I think that you're missing out on some of the cool features of the roasted maple if you don't put a hard finish on it. Not. Yeah, it really does. It pops out. You know, just like one pass with clear, like even lacquer makes it just like jump right off the jumps right off the what? Jumps off the neck? No, the grain really looks great.
Just looks cool. Yeah, everybody likes figured, flamey looking.
Even like the regular, like plain roasted maple probably looks just bad. Just that color.
But how much of that have you seen? Because nobody's doing it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, well, I'm sure there is a
got
handful of
some figure, something going on.
We got a couple roasted maple blanks from Dan at Guitar Wood Experts the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Cool.
I'm going to make something cool with them. Okay. Sorry.
I am Groot asks, I am curious about what is real between y'all and Phil Mcknight. He talks about stopping by for a beer sometime. Is that something you would do a show on?
Let's deep dive. Can you grab the guitar?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you every single thing about Phil Mcknight that I know. The very first time I ever met Phil Mcknight, it was at a NAMM show in Anaheim. And it was the first one where my apprentice at the time, Ian, went with us, and he was kind of looking around. He knows some of these people, and I don't know who this was 3, 4, 5 years ago. And he was hanging out with these guys and asking them questions. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. I didn't know who Phil Mcknight was. And we were at the I don't know, let's say Duesenberg booth. It wasn't that, but let's say it was that. And Ian was talking to Phil Mcknight. I had no idea who Phil Mcknight was. Coincidentally, at exactly the same time, I was there was a guy who was. Did you get the? Okay, there was another guy who was a fan of our YouTube channel, and he wanted to show me the guitar that he built. And so I'm like, I didn't want to shine on somebody who I didn't know because Ian was talking to him, but I also didn't want to shine on this guy who came up to me and said, "Hey, I really like your YouTube channel. Thank you for doing that stuff." So So I given the choice of the two shine-ons, I had to shine on Phil Mcknight a little bit. He doesn't remember this. It was years ago, and he talks to 100 billion people. So let's see. Then my friend Cheddar Kung Pao ordered a guitar from us, and he was very complimentary and said, and would send stuff to Phil Mcknight and be like, "Hey, you should check these guys out." And so Phil kind of started coming around, and we met him officially in 2019 at the Summer NAMM show in Nashville, and he was very, very cool. Now we were like kind of stuck in this back corner, and I had to be like, "Hey, Phil Mcknight," and he kind of was like, "Well," and he came over and talked with us and was very cool, and checked out our guitars and kind of gave us some pointers and said, "Here's what I like. Here's what I would like to see more of," that kind of thing. But like super, super cool. And he would every so often, mention us in his live thing, which is unsolicited, and unexpected and super, super nice. We really got to be buds though, during the Great Guitar Build-Off last year. I talked to Phil Mcknight a couple of times. Every 3 or 4 months, I talked to Phil Mcknight, and I talked to Phil Mcknight for like hours. It's right. So here comes Chris. Yeah. It's a thing where like he and I just like go off, and we just go blah 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 blah. It's like a couple of 13-year-old girls talking.
It really is.
But so would Phil Mcknight? Have we talked about having him come to the shop? Yes.
Yes.
Would we like to have him come to the shop and do whatever he wants to do? Yes. If he just wants to come and drink beer with us? Great.
Sure.
I can tell you that he won't come when it's cold because he likes the hotness.
Self-proclaimed wuss.
Is that what he said? Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
So we are actually in the middle of building a guitar for Philip Mcknight. And one of those times where I talked with him for a long, long time, he said to me, I'm not going to go. I'm already, this is already way longer than it needs to be, but he was like, send me whatever you want and we'll do something cool with it. And he's like, here's what you do when you send guitars or something to a YouTube guy. Send them something that's in the price point that they think that that you can move easily. Send them something that is unique to you, and send them something that has their logo on it, on like the control cavity cover or something. That way they don't sell it. Now he wasn't talking about himself, but he's like, look, make it so that they can't just get rid of the thing. So like if say for example, Marshall sends Joe YouTube guy a stack. Well, if they aren't really into it, they can sell the amp, but if you want them to keep it, you should, this is Phil talking here. So we actually just did this today. What, you ready?
Yeah.
So the guitar that we're putting together for Phil Mcknight is one of our Challenger models, and we went ahead and we personalized the fretboard. So
doesn't get any more personal than that. Yeah.
Per his request. no, per his tutelage.
Be damned.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got a guitar that's ready to go to Phil Mcknight here in a little bit. It is one of our Challenger models. It is kind of a prototype that we are working on. And so you'll see more of that one coming up.
Yeah.
That was a long way around the barn. So yeah.
You're usually so quiet.
I'm usually so reserved.
What is the difference between purfling and binding? Asked Dan Andradas. Okay,
Dan, purfling and binding. Binding goes on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Okay, well, I already got it all goofed up. Purfling and binding both are edge treatments for the guitar. Binding is generally 1/4 of an inch or taller. If you look at it from the edge. Purfling doesn't need to be that tall. It's usually 1/8 of an inch because it is wedged between the binding and the body of the guitar. So if it is 1/8 inch tall, you won't know that it's 1/8 inch tall. You won't know that it's it could be the full. It doesn't have to be the less than that, but generally speaking, the cutter, there's a step. So there's a step for like an 1/8 inch down and say 60 thousandths wide, and that's where purfling goes. And then after that, there's a step that's 90 thousandths and 250 tall, and that's where the binding goes. So if you want, like say the guitars that immediately spring to my mind that have purfling and binding are Les Paul Custom. There's that great big, there's like white, black, and then a great big hunk of white binding or something. That the white, black is purfling. And the great big hunk of thing on the end is binding.
Right.
Does that make sense?
And they cut that in a stepped
configuration.
Yeah. Which leads us to our next question.
Okay.
From Lars Kidd. Can you
Lars.
explain a channel route binding on a neck?
Can I explain a channel route binding on a neck?
Remember that binding that we saw at MIT that looked like an L or like a T?
Oh, yeah.
So it's not something that we've ever used, but we have seen it.
So manufacturers like Gibson, specifically Gibson, use a binding that is, let's say, 90 thousandths thick and 250 tall, and there's a little nub what sticks out of the edge that indexes the binding so that it doesn't come away from the bottom of the channel and ride high.
Yeah, I think it's a way to get the binding all the way down against the wood.
So it's almost like IKEA binding. You press it in.
It's got like a track that it rides on. The binding has a little nubbin, and the body or the neck has a track, or the body has a track that stuff rides on. How they do it, I'm sure there's a shaper bit or something that just plows through and does it all at once. Yeah. That was cool stuff. If you can get the binding, more power to you, but you've got to get a tool that'll cut that path. That's the tricky bit. Yep.
That's the tricky bit.
Yep. Paul McNary just gave us $20 with a smiley face.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Very cool. Excellent.
Mike Jones says, I'd never play anything with my name on it. Gives me name on underpants from mom vibes.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think it's cool.
I never had my name in my underpants.
I've never had my name in my underpants.
I didn't go to camp.
I've had my initials in my, I still do have my initials. Just in case.
We've had a bunch of people that have said, I don't like the name on the fretboard thing. And I'm like, I don't get that. I think that there was a time when, like back in the day, when like everybody who was like a badass had their name on there. Stevie Ray Vaughan had a guitar that said Stevie Ray Vaughan on it. That was kind of a Grand Ole Opry thing.
Well, yeah, back in the old, because especially if you were a guitar player in like a country swing band or something like that. I mean, the only recognition you were going to get was when the guy called out your name once a night. Play it, Butterball, whatever. And so you had to advertise any way you could. It's advertising. Yeah, I think it's cool too. Plus, it just kind of lets people know that you are confident in how much of a badass you are. And if you don't have your name on your guitar, then I don't know.
Practice more.
Yeah. I think something got lost in the translation there.
Which was what? You wanted a beer?
Yeah.
There's an unopened beer right there.
One there. Yeah.
You want a cold one?
No.
You made a crinkly face at me. And that
I thought you wanted me to have one of those.
No, I knew what you were drinking.
So I think that having your name on a fretboard it's a statement. Now, it's not a statement for everybody, though. I get that. You know what I mean? Joe wants to know if the font is large enough on that fingerboard. He would be surprised to find out that there was a larger one. There was an even larger one, but because that neck will be bound, it would have cut into the binding. It was right on the edge. And then also we tried a new inlay stuff, and it's still rubbery. Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
if you're gonna put your name on it, put it on big.
Go
man.
big, baby. Yeah. Don't make it
Don't
little.
want it in the corner.
So yeah, could it be bigger? It could be a little bigger.
Slightly, yeah.
Can't be bold and subtle.
No. So is he asking? Is it big enough? I think you might think it needs to be
I
bigger.
think he's just being.
You don't think
being funny?
I'm not sure.
Is there any like glow in the dark?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There is, yeah. Oh, yeah. We could get glow in the dark powder.
If you guys think that Phil Mcknight's name on his fretboard needs to be bigger, just write it on a $20 bill and hand it up. I'll answer that question. Okay.
Purfling is acoustics.
Kerfing is acoustics.
Yeah.
Kerfing is on the inside. That's what helps the top glue to the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Purfling is what they do around the sound hole.
That's a rosette, actually, around
You're right.
the sound hole. Purfling does, in fact, can be used on electric or an acoustic. Purfling is cool.
Jeffrey Egan wants to know,
Hey,
do you
Jeff.
pre-drill holes for the smaller screws like pick guard screws, etc.?
Ooh, that depends on what the top is made out of.
Yeah, I almost always do, unless it's
So, like, usually when we're working with like that swamp ash we get from Dan at Guitar Wood Experts, that stuff is soft enough where you just buzz it in. The little tiny screws on the secure the tuners to the headstock and keep them from wiggling around. On maple, you absolutely positively want to drill that hole out, and you want to drill it bigger than a 16.
Yeah.
If you're going into maple,
Everybody always pre-drills holes in maple too small.
and
And
they
then
do, yeah.
And then they
then
break
they
off
break a
screws,
screw. Yep.
and then they curse the screw manufacturer
Ah,
for not
concerned.
making,
Yeah.
Yep.
I like those that Sumac kit that has the all the bits. One of them is a screw. Is like a.
Yeah.
It's
those
not
are
a
actually-
tap, but it's a hardened thing.
Yeah. That actually works. That works really well. Just to kind of go slow and on soft woods. It also works really well to kind of pre-tap a hole or re-tap a hole.
So you're not gonna. There's no penalty except for time to pre-drill to drill a pilot hole.
Yeah.
Unless you're using, or even if you are using swamp ash from Dan at Guitar Wood Experts. By the way, I love how you do that. You do me like that. Guys, if you are looking for any wood for your guitars, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Dan and Calvin at Guitar Wood Experts. They are, in fact, Guitar Wood Experts. And
they're experts in the guitar wood field.
They've got wood. So all of the stuff that we use for like classes and such comes from Guitar Wood Experts, and we use a bunch of stuff for non-class guitars as well. They've got the good stuff, and you need to check it out too. I wouldn't buy swamp ash from anywhere else. It's the stuff we get from Dan is killer.
Yeah, it's consistently good.
Yeah. We'd also like to thank John and Cheryl from Bitterroot Guitars, because Bitterroot Guitars is another company that we use almost daily, from truss rods to pickups to tuners to back again. Well, not really tuners so much, because we use Hipshot tuners. We are Hipshot distributors, and we love the Hipshot tuners and the Hipshot bridges. New for the Challenger too is the new Hipshot bridge for Texas Toast guitars, which is totally cool.
Yep, it is.
And we've got one other sponsor, and that, of course, is Ike and the gang from Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Tony asked me today, he's like, hey, how's come that that double bound hot coral Strat is still available at Flipside?
I have a theory.
Oh, what is it?
It's too cool.
It's pretty rad.
It's one of those guitars where you're like, shit, man, I gotta like bring it every time I play this guitar.
I have a theory about it too.
Okay.
No one's name is on the fretboard.
There's lots of talk of Phil Mcknight's name on the fretboard.
What does everyone think of? So I think name on the fretboard is something that people, it is a polarizing issue.
It is, yes.
People are like, I would never do that. I would, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I personally want to be, guys, if I go to my grave and you guys remember me for one thing, I hope it's fabric topic. No, I hope that it is that Matt pushed everyone to get their name on their fretboard, because it's badass.
Jeffrey Egan says it's still available because I can't afford it yet. Yeah.
It's on sale.
It is on
It's
sale.
still on sale, yeah.
It is still on sale.
Yep. Not at Flipside, but on our website.
Correct. Yeah. Not at Flipside.
Yep.
SS says, can I order a guitar with Phil Mcknight's name on the fretboard? I want to represent.
Absolutely.
Put whatever name you want on there. Yeah. I'm going to have my nickname. I'm going to do one with my nickname on the fretboard. Move it lardass. A lot of letters. I don't know. It's going to, I may have to be big. Smaller.
Yep.
But
go big though. If you're going to put your name on,
move it lardass. That's a lot of letters.
Yeah.
And so I may have to make it smaller so it all fits on there. But it's
you could have some of it on the pick guard and some of it on the fretboard. I'm looking at Johnny Switchblade over there. Yeah.
I may have to make it a guitar Lynn.
Double neck.
Yeah, double neck. Move it lardass. Oh yeah. Because that's going to be that's awesome. There was also talk that we should probably custom paint that one with Phil's face on it. Maybe have Mike do a portrait.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's got a fairly nice chunk of maple. I'm not sure
we can do it on the back. I think they were talking about on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it classy.
Yeah, and keep it sexy.
Yeah.
Put full McNugget on the Strat neck.
Wow, I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know either.
That sounds like the guy's really into McDonald's. Is that Doug Cook?
No.
Okay.
Joe Quixotic.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? The Tiger King has gotten released from jail.
Oh, the Tiger King is not
they actually denied his appeal.
Oh, is that what it is? Yes.
What is he in jail for?
Happened here in
illegal
Denver.
Animals?
Well, either some illegal animal stuff, but he hired somebody to kill that woman. Kill Carol Baskin.
I still haven't seen any of this Tiger
Or that's
King
there was enough evidence that's what they got.
How many shows? How many hours?
Episodes? I think it's like 5 hours total. It's really entertaining though.
I still haven't watched it.
And you could watch one and decide whether you like it enough to watch the rest.
Okay. No.
And you might be like, oh, this is really fun, or this is the dumbest thing ever. Or you could be both of those. This is the dumbest thing ever, and it's really fun.
Okay, I hear you.
Which is the way I was. Yeah.
All right, cool. Are we going to come to a consensus on name on the fretboard tonight?
No, we aren't.
No, okay.
I mean, I think it's fun.
I think it's rad.
There's the idea that somebody said that it seems like you're talking about yourself in the third person.
So,
which Chris thinks that's cool.
Matt thinks it's cool too.
So does Jimmy from Seinfeld.
So does Jaime.
Yeah, so does Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't like conflict. Conflict and Jimmy kind of clash.
Well, I mean, okay, but really though, so what?
Yeah.
I think it's more like hello, my name is.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Doug Santaniello has his guitar says Joey Dan over here.
Yeah. So Doug's asked a question a couple of times tonight. And I thought that he'd gotten his answer from Todd at SweetT.
Well, let's find out.
So he's stripped a guitar and he wants to know what primer can he use. He's going to use car lacquer paint.
Okay.
What primer can he use?
Lacquer's pretty sticky, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lacquer really will stick to almost anything.
Yeah.
SS said 2K primer. I believe SweetT said the same thing.
Okay.
I think Doug is worried about using some of that stuff in close quarters.
Because it's pretty stinky.
Yeah, it's stinky and it's fairly tough. So for something like that, pretty much lacquer is lacquer as far as lacquer will stick to lacquer.
Mm-hmm.
So unless but lacquer will stick to lacquer. Let's run with that.
Okay.
You could use sanding sealer, like spray can of sanding sealer for a couple of coats.
Which is also a lacquer.
Which is lacquer based.
The
lacquer
like
sanding
that.
sealer.
Yeah.
Yes, you could use that. You could brush on. You can even brush on lacquer sanding sealer.
Mm-hmm.
You could brush on Simtech. That works really pretty well under lacquer. You could use. What else could you use? If it was me,
I have I have used exactly a couple of products, and the regular lacquer sanding sealer. Where were we getting it from? From Sherwin-Williams or something way back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's just thick lacquer that's got a bunch of like soap flake or something mixed in.
Something in it to make it, for high build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you spray lacquer over the top of that, and you get a fairly decent finish with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a fairly decent finish with that.
Yep.
And then we switched to Simtech, and I never looked back. That stuff was so good that it was like, well, I can't believe I spent as much time as I did not using this. That was stupid. So the only downside is if you're only making one guitar, you got to buy a quart of Simtech. But yeah, you could roll that on or brush it or pour it or something. I mean, you can. Yeah. The Simtech stays liquid for a while, and you could brush that on or roll it or smear it on. Brushing it actually works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then sand it back, and then add more and sand it back until you get like a really nice smooth finish. I think you'll love it. How would you do it? Chris, let me ask you a question. How would you do it if you didn't have any of the stuff we have, but all the knowledge that you've gained over the last decade?
I haven't played around with 2K primers.
It's probably just a polyester.
Yeah, I think it's
coating, right?
Yeah, it's probably similar to that stuff. And I don't know about putting lacquer over the top of that. So I would probably go old school and do sanding sealer, a couple coats, and then just start doing clear lacquer until I get or the way that everybody used to do it is to use Ben's shellac.
Okay.
White shellac.
Yeah, I remember that.
Clear shellac. It actually builds pretty fast. It works really well. That's probably the way I would do it.
So, all right. So you had a guitar that was totally stripped. Bin primer shellac.
I would use some sort of grain filler if it was an open grain wood.
Okay.
If it wasn't, then I would start shooting it with bin shellac.
Okay.
Shoot a bunch of coats, let it sit for a day or two, sand that back, and just keep doing that process until it's
nice and smooth.
Yeah.
And then color coats.
Shellac dries really fast.
And then clear.
Because it's alcohol based.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not even lacquer based.
How do you avoid blushing?
Well, on that you wouldn't matter because you're putting color over the top of it.
Yeah, but then you're gonna put a clear coat lacquer over it, no?
Well, yeah, but then you'd have to worry about blushing on the clear coat. But yeah. You and I have like go round and round about finish and this, that, and the other, and how the booth should be and this.
Yeah.
Remember how like we're just like in the minutia though. Remember how when it was used to be that we were spraying lacquer on everything and it was like, geez, we're in a shed, and it was awful.
Yep.
All right. Any more questions?
Bad Apple Guitar Works says the best part of the name on the inlay is that they put Philip on it, and I've literally never heard him go by that. It's always just Phil.
That's the best thing.
Look at what one of his channels is called. It's called Philip Mcknight.
Well, I'm having trouble with that. That's the best thing.
No, I get it.
I think he's just.
We talked about Phil or Philip, and we decided Philip. I mean, because if you type in the box above you, type in Philip Mcknight, and his page, Philip Mcknight, will pop up. So I figure he's good with either one.
It's like when people call me Carrie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a jerk about it, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me that that's his favorite thing is that we got something that he thinks is wrong.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, dude. Thanks a chunk.
Carl Engstrom says $5 for a little for the beer fund. Keep doing good, folks.
You know
Thanks,
what? We're gonna
Carl.
try, Carl.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
This was a fun one.
Yeah.
But now it's time to go.
But now it's time to call it a day. So, guys, are we gonna have a reveal tomorrow, Chris?
I hope, but if one thing goes wrong, nope. Oh, and you know what? No, we're not.
Why?
Because I got to do a bunch of paint work outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we will. Probably we won't.
No.
So, guys, thanks for watching. It's always cool to hang out with you and answer your questions and listen to you tell me I did something wrong about Phil Mcknight. That's always funny. I don't get that. Thanks a chunk.
Well, he'll find out about it, and then we'll hear that he thinks it's exactly right, or he'll say,
I'm sure what he's going to say is, the guys from Bad Apple Guitars totally are right, and you guys are jerks, Matt and Chris. I'm sure that's what he'll say.
Don't be hard on the Bad Apple guy.
Why? He was like, well, the best part is you guys got it wrong.
Well,
really, dude? Thanks a lot.
You got it right because it's Philip Mcknight.
No, I don't think it was that at all.
I'm gonna type in Philip Mcknight and see.
I think the Bad Apple guitar guys are messing with me.
It's like I know guys
because they think they're funny. All right, so anyway. So guys, thanks for watching, including if you think that we're a bunch of jerks. So anyhow,
I'm just glad I spelled McKnight right. Because that first board, I did not spell McKnight right. I put 2 G's in there.
I'm not sure what McNaught
weird.
is. Yeah. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. It was great hanging out with you. Even if you don't like us, I don't care. So this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar, and it might as well have your name on it. It's your guitar. All right, gang. We'll catch you later. Have a good one.